Oh, people, welcome to the show. Spheroids, you better grab some tissues because you're going to watch and weep. Reality realizers, like and share. Okay, so y'all know I've been doing videos on the mountains here as of recent, and there seems to be this Olif the Globulist who happened to make a response video trying to prove that I'm some kind of an idiot. Well, during this response video, we have been going back and forth, and all of a sudden, Paulster X decides to chime in and leave a link to a video about some mountain research that he had done. Paulster X, there's your plug. Olif the Globulist, there's your plug. And the video in question that Paulster X is doing is towards a video that Rockets Push Off Air. There's your plug, buddy. Very good channel. I suggest you all look into Rockets Push Off Air video. He's got a lot of them. Anyway, so Paulster X decides he's going to debunk this video, and the video that he has linked out of Odell's video is 200-mile flat earth Rainier to Brunswick. Well, it's mountains. Welcome to the mountains. I start watching the video. Actually, I go to Rockets Push Off Air to see what he has to say first. But this is the photograph that Rockets Push Off Air. This is the actual photograph. This is Paulster inland or overland or whatever. This title screen of Rockets Push Off Air. And I'm watching it, and he moves on and gives the elevation and distance from Mount Brunswick to Mount Erie, the distance of 76 miles, an elevation of 1,273 feet. That's the impertinent one right there. This in here is irrelevant, but it is Mount Constitution with an elevation of 2,407 feet at a distance of 58.3 miles from Mount Brunswick. So we go further into the video and we come to this point of the video where he puts this picture of Mount Rainier on top of Rockets Push Off Air's picture right here. And what piques my interest is this peak right here. It's the same peak as that peak right there. None of these lines really matter. It's just Paulster X showing that Mount Erie hits Rainier right there at 6,900 feet. Mount Constitution hits Mount Rainier right there at 7,500 feet. But that's totally irrelevant, people. I'm in question of this peak right here because it has piqued my interest. So what do? I go to Goggle Earth, and I'm looking around Mount Rainier here trying to see if there's any peaks that are tall like Mount Rainier, and I'm not seeing any. And I zoom in, and I zoom in, and I zoom in, and lo and behold, here we have it. Little Tahoma Peak. That is that peak, Little Tahoma. So now I know that this is Little Tahoma Peak. I go ahead and do a little investigation on Little Tahoma Peak, and I come to the realization that it is a satellite peak of Rainier, meaning that it is right there on Mount Rainier, Little Tahoma Peak, with an elevation at 11,138 feet. Take note of that elevation. I already have done videos on Mount Rainier, but just to refresh your memory, Mount Rainier is 14,417 feet. Back to Goggle Earth, because I'm going to check out the path of the camera coming from Mount Brunswick to Mount Rainier. And I see Mount Erie right here. And I realize that Mount Erie is right off the Rosario Strait by about 3 miles maybe. And the overall distance between Rainier and Mount Brunswick is 193.9 miles. Let's get all these schematics in there. Here's Mount Constitution out here on Orcas Island. It's completely irrelevant for what we're doing. You see there's Mount Brunswick right there, off the peak right there, and we are 193 miles distance from Mount Brunswick to Mount Rainier. Now that that's all covered, let's get back to here. See, this elevation here and this elevation here are completely irrelevant to the distance out here, which is 193.9 miles. But this one here is 193.9 miles as well, so their elevations are very relevant to each other. So I do a little bit of work on the old computer here. Let me get here and see right here we have Mount Rainier weighing in at an elevation of 14,417 feet, which is that line right there. And we have Little Tahoma at 11,138 feet. That's that line right there. So now we know that these are both in the same distance out there, so this elevation from right here between these lines and that line is 3,279 feet. Start crying, ballers. Let me bring this over to here so you can see that these measurements, here's mean sea level. Let's get that, oh, it's over here. Okay, let's zoom this in a little bit. Now you can see right here, Mount Rainier is level to that point right there. Mount Tahoma is 6/10 below that. So now I know that 6/10 is 3,279 feet in 193.9 distance. For sure, because Little Tahoma and Rainier are the same distance from the vantage point of the camera. And so I come down from 6/10 right there to the top of Little Tahoma. I come down another 6/10 and another 6/10 and a 4/6 from the top of Rainier. I have 4/6. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 24/10. And I'm noticing that that's right above mean sea level of Mount Erie right here. As you know, Mount Erie is 1,273 feet above sea level. That only leaves me 2 more tenths right there. Now I'm on to something. I know that 3,279 feet is between 6/10. You divide that by 6/10 and you come up with 500 146.5 feet every 10th. And now, so we have 6, 12, 18, 24, 25, 26 tenths. Multiply them tenths up there times 26. 14,209 feet brings you right to mean sea level, folks. There's no curvature. You just reverse engineer from the top down from Rainier on this photograph, and it brings you to mean sea level. Watch and weep, ballers. Your ball is done. Like and share, reality realizers. I hope you enjoyed the show.